Hello, welcome back to CLG versus mTw. This is game 2 of a best of 3 series. We are in Premier League the last week, week number 11. A lot of standings are still being determined right now. And this is the match to determine number 2 and number 3. There's about $1,000 swing in between. So that's big money involved. CLG lost game number 1 and mTw looking really poised to take this game and hopefully take their number 2 slots in the Premier League number 2. mTw have the first pick and ban here on the Dire side. CLG banning the Venomancer on the Radiant. Last game, if you just missed it, we saw a really good clockwork being played. Just shows you against certain lineups, heroes still very good. mTw, despite being very comfortable with the way they're playing, not afraid to try out some new stuff. I really like to see it, at least from a fan of the game's perspective. We've been seeing the same old heroes and heroes game after game after game. Seeing a clockwork once in a while isn't too bad. Of course, they have some really fun combos here and there. Let's see what mTw and CLG is going to bring us for game number 2. And so far, we got a couple of bans already, respect bans already being thrown out there. Nice Syllabare being banned. Syllabare is one of those heroes I feel like always ban worthy, but most teams don't actually ban it. They only ban it against teams who has really good known Syllabare players, and mTw's definitely got a couple. So Darkstare is going to be banned as well. So we see Lycanthrope still in the pool, and I'm pretty sure CLG will be banning this one. I don't see them giving away the Lycanthrope. Lycanthrope is in the pool. Chaos Knight is in the pool, although I've been somewhat disappointed with Chaos Knight. He hasn't been winning games or lanes in general at all. So I don't think that hero is going to be picked up by mTw. Beastmaster is definitely worth a ban, considering that it is mTw on the Dire side. They will be doing a lot of ancient stacking. But I think Lycan has to be the ban here. However, if CLG bans the Lycan, Chen, Furion, Enchantress, there's a lot of OP heroes in the pool. And I don't think it's a bad thing per se, because having overpowered heroes against overpowered heroes is always fun to watch. But that also takes away some very fringe heroes. I mean, why do you want to play a clockwork if you have just a bigger and better heroes? Bigger and better heroes. That is what I was trying to say. Alright, it's not going to be a Lycan. CLG says we're a little bit more afraid of the Enigma. And effing Mad definitely played a really good Enigma. The Black Holes were always on point. And it's going to be a Lycan snap pick here for mTw. And CLG would have the choice between Furion, Chen, Leshrac, Shadow Demon. They got a lot of choices, so let's see what they want. Now, Lycanthrope generally is kind of the boogeyman of the pro scene. He's always banned, and if you don't ban it, you probably just lose a game in 25-30 minutes because he farms so very quickly. But the hero's not without weakness. He's got a couple points of weakness that you can actually exploit upon. First is, for the first 10 minutes of the game, he's actually quite frail, he's actually quite weak. You could actually stop his jungle farm if he is indeed jungle farming. If he's laning well, you could actually stop him there as well. So for the most part, there's always an answer for the Lycan in the laning stage. In teamfight stages, there's going to be Ghost Scepter, Force Staff, and of course, Disruption, things like Astral Imprisonment, stuns in general. There's a lot of ways to actually deal with the Lycanthrope. The question is, can you deal with the Lycanthrope and his team? A lot of times when teams they see a Lycanthrope, they just freak out. It's like, oh my god, there's a Lycan. Let's pick every one of our heroes just against the Lycan. And that's not the correct way to do it, because Lycanthrope, even though he's probably the strongest hero on the mTw squad right now, mTw is going to pick a really nice roster that also push, that also gank, and you can't just focus all the attention against Lycanthrope that we've seen some teams in the past have done. So let's see exactly what CLG is going to be doing. We do see a very squishy lineup here being taken up by mTw, Enchantress and Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden, a little bit of a premature counter pick against Chen, and as well as Enchantress. I feel like even though there's a Chen on the enemy side, mTw more than enough to prepare against it. Now you could enchant it, now you could frostbite the creeps. Of course, a Lycan Wolf could actually right-click Chen creeps down fairly quickly if things like the Feral Impulse and How are maxed up. They crit very hard, so Chen, Leshrac, and Prophet have to do a lot of damage early on. Like, they have to take down at least 3 tier 1s and a couple of tier 2s right from the get-go, because once we go to the mid-game, I'm not exactly sure how they're going to handle Lycan. Splitter is going to be very difficult to land against the Lycanthrope simply because of how fast he's moving. Sprout's not going to be too effective. I imagine that Lycan will have a Quelling Blade for sure. So unless CLG is picking into things like Beastmaster or whatever else, So far they have no answer. They have no answer for Lycan, at least for the mid game team fight Lycan. Now early game though, they have many answers for it. Chen could jungle against Lycan and make sure he doesn't get farmed. Chen could push very aggressively and force Lycan to come out of jungle and help. There's definitely a couple things you could do. Beastmaster's still not banned up just yet. I feel like both teams will want this kind of hero. Both teams could stack the aura and be very efficient with that hero overall. Dai could do the ancient pulling. The Radiant could use the roar as a lockdown spell. Shadow Demon not being banned either, and Shadow Demon can deal against Lycan or can help Lycan get a lot more kills. So these heroes are very good, and neither team's picking them so far. I don't actually expect mTw to pick the Shadow Demon, considering that they already have 2 supports. But you never know. Shadow Demon can play as a general kind of semi-carry role as well. But I'm pretty sure that if CLG gets on their hand on Shadow Demon, they will snap pick that one, because again, it fits very nicely with the Leshrac Splitter combo. It really is a good way to deal with Lycan. Defensive disruption, offensive disruption, all that stuff. And Slowcatcher is no joke. Like, you actually could right-click down Lycan if Slowcatcher's on top. We do see the Shadow Demon ban here from Synderen. No surprise there. Are we going to see a CLG Beastmaster ban? That is the question.
Seconds remaining.
For anyone joining us, we are in game number 2 of a best of 3 series. mTw took game number 1 rather convincingly, I might add, and CLG looking to stay alive in the Premier League. Panda is going to be the ban here for CLG, and I think that's actually a very decent ban. Considering that Panda plus the Lycanthrope, there's no way he could run away, and there's no way he could really win a team fight without initiating or wasting like 20 spells to either kill a very tanky Panda or a very tanky Lycanthrope. Of course, all the support lineup in the back line is going to be throwing a whole bunch of stuns and spells at you, so that is a very key ban. But this also means that mTw could pick similar heroes like the Panda, a big disruptor in a team fight, and really makes you to take off focus away from the Lycanthrope. Also, we have seen teams in the past go double semi-carries with Lycanthrope, so they do something like a Solar Bear plus Lycan, or they do something like Lycan plus Anti-Mage, Lycan plus insert another semi-carry. And suddenly it's like, who do you actually gank? Do you actually focus on Lycan? Do you focus on the semi-carry, Anti-Mage, whatever insert there? And it's suddenly like, if you're CLG, like you gotta pick your poison, and sometimes you can't gank both heroes enough times, and in the mid game, mTw is gonna just roll away. mTw is gonna be facing up against the Night Stalker. Very interesting. Now the Night Stalker is not gonna do too much, in fact, anything against the Lycanthrope, but he is gonna be able to run past a lot of these guys and just go to town against the Crystal Maiden, go to town against the Winner as well as the Enchantress. Cool thing about the Night Stalker is that his Fear of Darkness is actually quite relevant against Lycanthrope. Like, if you drop the Fear against Lycan, I'm talking about the mischance. The silence is no use there, but the mischance against Lycan, that's not too bad. I mean, that's some pseudo survivability. But I assume most of the time he's going to drop the Fear against a support hero and try to pick him down. Beastmaster is going to be the last pick here for mTw. Again, no surprise there, considering that it is on Dire. He is going to be ancient stacking, ancient pulling. And right now, CLG putting a lot of focus on the early game. If they don't get ahead in 15 minutes or so, they are in big trouble. Like, right after the first Nightfall, CLG have to take at least 3 tier 1 towers. They have to be up at least about 5,000 gold. If that's not the case, I'm not sure what they could do. Now, of course, they have one more pick left. They have one more pick left. Let's see what's gonna be. Now, don't count, Leshrac, Furion, and Night Stalker. They have some very strong mid-game capabilities, especially if they get really farmed. But I'm not counting on that. I'm really not counting on that. But we'll see. We'll see. It is going to be a Acropolis, so this is going to be a heavy pushing lineup. Now, Acropolis as a pushing hero, she's very different from other ultimate-based pushers. Let me try to find a good comparison. What is the hero that depends on ultimate spells to push? I can't actually think of one right now. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are just screaming at the monitor right now. What I'm trying to say is that a level 6 Crobulus doesn't push a lot, or excuse me, a level 8 Crobulus does not push a lot worse than a level 11 Crobulus, because the way that her exorcism scales. A lot of people's ultimate scales from 6, 11, 16, and that's all it is, right? But Crobulus' exorcism scales as you level up witchcraft as well. So at level 9, she's really good as a pusher. Level 11, even better, but there's not going to be as big of a gap, not as big of a jump. So she is going to provide you early game pushing if you need it. And guess what? Going back to what I said, they need to be really, really far ahead. So CLG has to win the laning phase, and mTw, if they don't lose the early game badly, I feel like they're in a good shape. Synderen going to be playing the Beastmaster, if you can see his item set, already saving for the quick bottle build. I assume he's going to be going up mid. Kebab is going to be handling the Crystal Maiden. Sock is going to be playing the Enchantress. Very, very interesting. Sock generally plays on the kind of the carry heroes, like the Farmer or the Tinker. Going to be on Enchantress instead. We'll see how that works out. Funzy, the long laner, is going to be playing the Windrunner instead. And then Effing Man is going to be handling the Lycanthrope. Effing Man usually plays the support, so very interesting change. We're going to see Miracle on the support Leshrac. Support Leshracks in general, in my opinion, have not had really good success. But this Miracle, and he's one of my favorite supports of all of Europe. I have a lot of confidence in him. Aki's going to be playing on his Chen again, of course. Really, really good Chen player. Pycat on the Night Stalker. And we have Boba standing too. Standing in for Misery. Going to be playing the Death Prophet in the mid lane. And we have Lacoste West Side Mother on the Nature's Prophet. Alright, let's see if we have any interesting item purchases. There is a early circlet. I suppose that's interesting. You don't see it quite often. And a 15 gold earn for Sock, as well as 10 experience. That 10 experience might make a difference between like level 2 and 90% to level 3. Hey, it might. I'm just saying, it might make a small difference. Nice immediate D ward to make sure that these guys could gank a little bit aggressively. Aki waiting for this patch of creeps so he could make some big level 1 dive. It is going to be effing Matt in the lane, and he is not a good laner at all. Yeah, right now mTw's lane is actually not as good as I imagined. Cinder on the mid lane is going to have a little bit of issue against Boba. On the top lane here, Crystal Maiden is going to be an okay defensive hero, but not too sure whether he can keep Lycanthrope alive. Enchantress is going to be defensive jungling and try to set up a couple ganks, but of course Aki's here as well, and he's got one of the best ganking creep. There we go. We're going to see a dive, a loop around dive against Crystal Maiden, I imagine. Ward gets dropped down as well, so they will see if they're retreating properly. Are they going to make a dive? So far, nope. The Creequilibrium not really favoring it. But that's okay. Chen could keep jungling, no big deal. He can summon more skeletons. Back in the bot lane here, we have Lacoste soloing up against the Windrunner. I imagine Windrunner is going to have the better lasting animation as well as the nuke, but of course, it is a Prophet, and you can easily teleport away to help you get killed. So this tri-lane gank on the top lane could suddenly turn into a 4v2. And that's going to be really rough. Nova net goes right on Miracle. He steals Chen's creeps as well to send Miracle back. Will he be able to make it back? He's not going to be able to make it back. Miracle's going to give up the first blood. Crystal Maiden's going to die as well. But that was a 1-for-1 exchange. 4v3 status. mTw winning this early game so far. And they also got the first blood. And also Lacoste has forced to be drawn away from the bot lane, so he's got the ways to teleport Scroll as well. Another net against Lacoste. Lacoste taking some big damage. Nova from afar, and Lacoste in huge trouble. A second net comes in right now. Lacoste is going to give up the kill. mTw off to a great start, and again, Radiant is playing on the clock. They got to win the laning stage big time, and this is not the way you want to start it off. Of course, effing Mad, not the best laner, was able to pick up 2 EXP, assist EXP for the kills. He lost a Crystal Maiden for 2 kills. Yeah, they're very, very happy about that one. The cost waiting for 4 seconds to teleport back in the bot lane. That means he won't be able to join the gank on the top for at least 50 seconds. Or whatever that cooldown is. Is it 50 seconds? It is 50 seconds right now. They're going to go right ahead against the effing Mad. Splurf is not going to hit. Splurf is going to get change target on Kebab, but right now, good movement here, and Nova is going to be dropped very, very soon. No, Nova's on cooldown right now. Miracle's going to go down. Boots speed already up on Lycanthrope, and that's why he's out chasing all these guys. Crystal Maiden have hit level 2 after that engagement, and that's 1 and 3 in this trialing up top. Oh no, man. mTw is just getting too big of a lead. It's going back to 0 right now. We had a small goal lead, but I guess mTw is losing in terms of farm so far still. 18 creep kill here on Death Prophet and only 13 on Beastmaster. No denies on him. Meanwhile on the bot lane here, we see 10 on the Prophet. And the Funzy's got 15, considering that Prophet did leave the lane for a little bit. On the top lane here, Effing Mad's got only 7 CS, Night Stalker's got 8. So despite losing this lane, CLG is still farming a little bit better. But this farming advantage won't mean too much. Bob in position, getting enough mana for 2 spells. 225 or 215 is what he needs for that dual nuke. Sokka getting a little bit of pulling action going off. Of course, Radiant does completely see it all. Invis rune gets popped up here, and looks like Boba trying to go for a kill. He doesn't have enough mana to do so, but doing a very good job forcing Synderen away from the lane. It's 4-minute rune is going to spawn on the top lane here, and Boba will be grabbing that one as Beastmaster checked the wrong spot. No engagement happening on the top lane here. Miracle trying to get those last hit, unable to get it. Double damage rune gets picked up here by Death Prophet, and that means more lane winning for him, as Beastmaster would definitely not be able to keep up. Neither team wanting to send a hero to the gank their mid lane, considering that if they do understand that the other team has sent heroes away, that will be a prime time to go offensive. So both teams, keeping the trialing intact and making sure they don't lose any more ground. Synderen gonna be going for the Hawk build, as the site is gonna be quite important for the ganking that Night Stalker will be doing at the first Nightfall. Prophet still no teleport away. Has he picked up Sprout yet? Yes, he has. 2 levels into a teleport. Very interesting. I imagine the standard build nowadays for Nature's Prophet is 1 into Sprout, 1 to teleport, and take Nature's Call whenever he can. And generally, because the teleport and Sprout ganking combo is not too effective, a lot of players are saving tangles, or a lot of players are rebuying tangles if necessary, and you can always easily eat out. And I was thinking that maybe this is a game that you want to prioritize pushing a little bit more. But seems like that's not the case. These Nature's Prophet trees scaring away Funzy a little bit away from the lane. A very passive game so far. CLG is going to get enchanted. Clap comes in right now, and the right clicks is going to just do so much damage against Miracle. Miracle is going to go down. No, he does have the boots of speed. Can Lycan get the last hit? Yes, he can. Feral Impulse. Feral Impulse has nothing to do with attack speed, or excuse me, has nothing to do with movement speed, but was able to catch up. There is a cop car going on in the background. Somebody be getting ganked right now. Kebab on the top lane, still no boots of speed just yet. Very dutifully getting wards, second pairs of wards, as well as upgrading the courier and whatnot. Sock, by the way, already have the boots of speed. I'm guessing he's going to be rushing for a drums. If you're not rushing for a drums, there's no reason to actually start out with the circlet. Meanwhile, we do see a little bit of lane switch up for CLG. They have lost that lane thoroughly on the top lane, and we'll be putting Miracle and Chen defensive jungle, and suddenly Night Stalker is going to have a little bit of rough time as well. We are in the first Nightfall, and we have nothing on the Night Stalker. Has picked up a level of Crippling Fear. Generally, I mean, the Night Stalker build really differs from game to game. Sometimes we see Night Stalker just go Void Hunter Knight, Void Hunter Knight, and even skipping the ultimate. They just max these 2 spells by level 8. Sometimes we see a point into the ultimate, sometimes we see a point in Crippling Fear. It really depends what the stage of the game is, how far he's ahead, and what enemy heroes he's up against. But for now, he is opting for Crippling Fear, as it will be very, very key to set up these ganks against Windrunner, as well as preventing the heal from Enchantress and whatever else. Or preventing that ultimate being cracked on the Lycanthrope. Very interesting choice to actually pick up How so early in the game. And I think that is a fine choice. Generally when you're jungling, you don't want to do it because you're going to be spamming Summon Wolves all the time, so you don't actually have the mana to support this. But since you're laning as a Lycan, you're not going to be using How, or excuse me, Summon Wolves as much as possible. But if you do pop off your How in a kind of a 1v1 engagement, your hero's getting plus 20 damage across the map. That's pretty big if 2 heroes are trading right hits. Boba on the mid lane's got his first level of Exorcism. Will be taking points into Witchcraft now. Again, whenever Beastmaster decides to leave the lane, just try to set up a gank, that's when his tower is going to take significant amount of harassment or just get flat out killed. So Beastmaster choosing not to gank, despite he can do so. Try to set up a couple gank on the top lane here. I love the warding here being done by the Crystal Maiden, or Dire in general. Just having complete sight against Pycat, so very important. Again, if mTw survived this first Nightfall without losing more towers or more depth, they're going to be absolutely fine. Funzy going to wind run to the left. We're going to see a teleport, and nice Centaur Stomp. That was such a hack Centaur Stomp. There was 3 units nearby, and he just completely worked Funzy. Wow. Miracle does pick up that 1 kill. We do have a smoke party. Funzy, not very happy about that. But the gang comes in right now. Beastmaster Ward gets used. Enchant on top of him as well. The bite comes in. And stand into Boba. Never saw it coming. Smoke gang really messing him up. So, despite having the better offensive lane early on, it is the Radiant that's leading away right now. Phase boot, everybody have boots so far. Double phases up on the Radiant. And finally, we do see the first tower attempt push. Meanwhile, a solo kill being picked up here against the Lycanthrope. Well done by Pycat. I did not expect that at all. But at the very least, they have gotten. We do see a teleportation comes in from the Nature's Prophet. They want this tower. Glyph is going to force out, assuming the Diabolic Edict forcing out the Glyph so far. Trees not being summoned. Still cooling down for a couple of bit. Funzy trying his best to defend this tower, and it looks like he's doing a fairly good job of it. Tower doing a very good job defending itself as well, hitting down the heroes, and I think the push will be stymied. That's a 3-man push, not getting anywhere. This creep, of course, very low in terms of health as well. Beastmaster not rotating down just yet. He does have a double damage and of course a teleport scroll. And the reason that again he's not rotating is because if he does, he's going to lose the mid tower as well. Here comes the pushing attempt one more time, and it looks like no more glyph here. Diabolic Edict's going to get the kill. No deny. Very nicely done. Meanwhile on the top though, mTw pushing that tower down. And as difficult it was for the Radiant to push it down, Dire had a relatively easier time. So mTw keeping parity in terms of tower. 9 minutes in the game. And the Lycanthrope not having exactly the best farm in his life, only got 37 CS, but got 3 kills. It was able to pick up a tower for his team, so very nicely done for him. Goal chart, we see a very even goal lead, and of course a slight experience lead for the Dire, which doesn't mean too much. Yeah, mTw sitting very pretty once they head into the mid game. That Lycanthrope, man, gonna be mad scary. Cinnamon doing a very good job understanding that he cannot leave the lane and would not do so unless he sees Boba leaves the lane. Enchantress jungling it up as well, level 6. 900 gold in the bank. I don't think he's going for mech. Perhaps going for a quick drums into Acceptor. Anyone else going to mech though? Is Windrunner going for the mech? Yep, Windrunner definitely is. Ring of Regeneration, or Ring of Regen is already picked up. And it looks like we are going to see the push attempt coming in. Tornado driving across. Double tornado up though. That thing's going to eat a Splurf. And not the best placement of that creep. Are they going to try to force down this tower? Synderen already with the double damage rune getting popped. Unfortunately can't bottle up as this tornado is chasing him away. Yeah, but despite the tornado harassing, they really can't go in. Funzy coming in to defend this as well. Lycanthrope free farming up on the top lane. Enchantress still jungling. This is 3-man defending against 4 or 5. And CLG wasted some very valuable time. And now they have to go back to the other lanes. I feel like mTw is just rotating a lot better than CLG. We saw how long it took the tower to be destroyed on the bot lane. It took like 2 or 3 tries. Meanwhile, Radiant just took, or excuse me, Dire just took 1 try to destroy this tier 1. The mid tower was nicely defended. mTw just figured it out. They're like, we need just 2 heroes to defend this tower. Okay, we'll just send 2 heroes and we'll make sure they're going to waste a lot more time. This is so odd. Like a Leshrac, a Death Prophet, a Prophet, a Chen can't push down towers. That's insane. I can't even imagine me saying this. Funzy perhaps in a little bit of trouble as we are going to see a Void, Fear, and a couple of right clicks. They are going to get the kill. They need a lot more than this. They're still down by 1 kill with such a good ganking and pushing lineup. So far they're going to try to rotate to the mid lane. Trying to force down the tower now. Are we going to see the first exorcism in the game? Yes, we are. And Diabolic Edict Exorcism trying to bring down this tower. Here comes Synderin. Is he going to drop off the roar? They're at least scaring him away from the tower. Synderin gets silenced up as well. He's going to get eat a crippling fear. Synderin in big trouble. Synderin is going to get right-clicked off. Nice for catching him up. And Kebab in trouble as well. One more Kieran Swarm is going to do it. Nicely done here by Boba picking him down. But tower survive, and I think that's going to be the key thing. At least the tower survives for now. Second round, Diabolic Edict's going to get cast, and that alone will bring down the tower. But look at the top. Effing Matt says, yeah, sure, you push down my tower. I'm going to at least take down that tower's half of worth of HP. So, what I said earlier is that at the first Nightfall, after the first Nightfall, we have to see Radiant be leading by a couple towers. So far, they're leading by 1. Gold lead, they're leading by about 1,000. Experience lead, they're leading by nothing. It's very, very even in terms of XP. Are they ahead? I'm not sure. Are they enough ahead? Nightfall has ended in this point. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. I personally, I don't think CLG has grabbed enough advantage, but they still have a little bit more time. Lycanthrope is not that farmed yet. He's got the Vlads, he's got the Medallion. Doesn't have Treads yet, and he can't really safely go into the Roche Pit, because right now we have the Radiant doing a very good job. They saw the smoke being piped. They saw the smoke being used, and I think CLG will react accordingly. Roche Pit is going to be attempted here by effing man. Medallion Courage going around the Roche right now. So, are we going to smoke up? We'll see. Synderin trying to push down the tier 1 tower. Crystal Maiden, Windrunner in position to make sure that the Roche is going to be attempted accordingly. We do see Prophet teleporting in to defend the mid tower. It is going to be defended, but 3-man going right into the Roche pit here. And who are they going to focus? They're going to focus on Effing Mad. Effing Mad had no chance. Crystal Maiden though. Yep, not going to work it out nicely. We're going to have an immediate buyback from Lycanthrope. Nice Stalker gets a double kill. 2-man Shackle Shot. Marigold's going to get blown off. Aki, can he pop off his ult? No, he cannot. He's out of mana at this point here. And big team fight. Exorcism doing some big damage as well. Synderin, if he eats another Void, he's going to be in trouble. The Void is going to be on top. He's going to go down. Where is the Lycanthrope? He bought back, but he really can't do too much. Wolves gets resummoned here. And will the Roshan be brought down? I think they're going to try, but we'll see whether they can do it. Here comes a Shackle Shot, not latching, but I do believe Lacoste is going to go down regardless. Can he self-sprout? No self-sprout just yet. He tried. Not going to be enough. Roshan taking a lot of damage. Who's going to get the last hit as well as the Aegis? That's going to be absolutely huge. Lycanthrope says he doesn't care right now. Roshan Aegis. Oh, it's going to get picked up by Effing Mad. Nice quick last hits. Effing Mad's now going to trade hit with Pycat. Pycat's going to lose that fight. They does remove the Aegis though, but Boba's so very low. The Wolves not chasing properly. Funzy barely survives well. So is Boba. He's got the face, he's got the drum, so he should make it out alive. But overall, I'm not too sure who won the team fight. The last hit get claimed by... Who's got the last hit? By the Dire. Yeah, the Lycan got the last hit as well. So that's 1,000 gold to them. He's got the Aegis, but he also died in buyback. So it's kind of a ambiguous exchange, but I guess according to the EXP and Go chart, it says Dire has won that because we do see big spikes downward. Yeah, the Radiant has lost a lot of heroes in that exchange. Nova and Stomp missing overall there. Tower, is it going to get denied? That is the question. Crystal Maiden trying to right click down. Nice deny here by Lacoste, but we do have the Roar being used against Boba. Splitter, if it's going to hit against Synderin. Synderin at this point taking so much damage. Synderin just melts. Of course, it was very nice for Pycat to also pick up a double kill at the start of that team fight. And I think they're going to go for a tier 2. Diabolic Edict and Exorcism ready to go. Trin's leading the way. Funzy trying his best to nuke down the creep wave. Do we have a mech finish just yet? No mech done. The headdress adding a slightly small amount of regeneration. If you have a choice between getting the headdress first or getting the buckler first, generally if you're pushing, try to get the buckler. As we see Aki getting a lot of position. He's going to steal a creep before he does die, or he tried but unable to do so. Lycan Wolf using his wolf form, but right now Boba doing a lot of damage. Pycat gets enchanted up. Nice splitter, warding everybody away. Teleportation comes in. That is from the Beastmaster. Beastmaster back alive. Beastmaster roar against Pycat. Pycat is going to go down. Kebab's going to go down now. And now we do have the wolf running right in. His wolf form has ran out. Splitter not hitting just yet, and those goals are just done. Synderin and his squad doing a very good job defending the tier 2. It is very low. It is in deny range. We'll see whether mTw is going to deny that, but so far they have prevented the destruction of their tower, and they got a couple of kills. A kill against the Night Stalker during daytime. Not too bad. Goal lead right here still a bit in the favor of the Dire squad. How is Lycanthrope doing? Got 2,400 gold in the bank. I wonder what he's going to be going for. BKB is going to be, I feel like, the item of choice, because once he popped the BKB, there's really no answer on the Radiant. Sure, they can still hit him. There's Exorcism, there's Diabolic Edict, there's wall right clicks. But I don't think that's enough answers against the Lycanthrope. Necro 3 is also a very interesting choice, but I'm not too sure whether it's a good choice, because Necro 3 can be stolen by the Chen. They don't really care that much about Necro 3. None of these heroes are really dependent on their mana, or have a very low mana pool. I guess Night Stalker comes very close to that, but for the most part, I think he's fine. I think BKB is just a better item choice. But we'll see what effing Matt is going to be end up going. He's saving for 2,600 gold. That will be enough. 2,700 is what a Necrobo costs. And 39 is what a BKB costs. So we'll see what he ends up going for. mTw trying to best defend this tier 1 tower. We're going to see Nightfall getting popped. And oh, and he's going to TP out. Yes, he will. Team 5 breaking out right here. Nice sprout. Unfortunately, not sprouting him away. Spliff is going to hit. Miracle is going to get bitten up. Roar goes on the west side. West side Gangsta gets picked off as well. Boba on full retreat. Haste Rune on Cinder and getting a couple of right clicks in. How getting plus damage on a lot of people. And that's 2 kill being claimed. Very, very important. Boba comes right in. It's going to pop Exorcism. He's going to go. And there's going to be slow. Effing Matt's going to get brought down, I think. Will that be enough? He's going to try to teleport out. Not going to be enough. Testify getting that kill. Shackle Shot hits against 2 heroes. And Boba, he sees Crystal Maiden. He wants Crystal Maiden. And who doesn't want Crystal Maiden, right? Crystal Maiden somehow actually made it out alive. Funzy made it out alive as well. That was the Exorcism for a Lycan kill. I think that was a good trade. Question is, can they get off a Roshan? Excuse me, can they get off a tier 1 tower? That is really the important thing. Smoke gets popped here. Syndred, does he have the Beastmaster Roar? No, he doesn't. Funzy, of course, always has that Shackle Shot available. It is daytime without darkness and without Exorcism available. CLG has to back off, but I think they sense the urgency. They have to keep fighting. They have to get some ground. And I think that ultimately will be their downfall as these guys are in position. Creep gets stolen here, and is it going to get stolen back? That's the question. Shackle Shot not latching. Man, these guys don't really have ultimates. They're slowly working on this tower. Diabolic Edie gets dropped as well. Pycat fighting Funzy here and there. Kebab getting in position. Such an elegant dance between the two teams. It seems like CLG has realized they really can't prolong this fight. They can't really take this fight. And now we have Lacoste free farming up on the bot lane. Hanamitis was his first item choice. Treads is what he wants after that. Is he going to go for a Force Staff or a straight Hex? Force Staff a little bit more effective earlier on, but Hex ultimately the better item. Hey, he might just get both, leading off with the Force Staff first and then going back into a Hex. Mech is not up yet, but he will have it after this camp. Let's see. Night Stalker perhaps will be going for a Pipe for his team, or maybe a BKB, or maybe an Acceptor, depending what he feels. Leshrac is going to be trying to work around the drums. And Lesh Ghost Scepter as his first core item. I really like this. Sure, Lycan is the big blow of damage, but don't forget Enchantress deals some pure damage. No joke. Winra doesn't, this isn't too shabby when it comes to the right click. But with that said, there's also a lot of magical damage. Nova, Power Shot, Axis. So, he's got to be very careful when he does pop that Ghost Scepter, because he can get blown up very, very quickly. Dire's item, we do see Necrobook. Alright, so effing Matt has went for the Necrobook route. I'm not too sure whether I like that decision. I have explained why I feel BKB is a superior choice. It basically makes them invulnerable when you pop it, but they're going to go for Mass Necro. Necro is one of those items, the more you have it, the more effective each Necro becomes. Simply because, sure, if you see 2 Necro minions running at you, you're like, oh, whatever. But if you see like 4 or 5 Necro minions running at you, then suddenly that is an army in itself, and you can't really take that heads on. So, effing Matt trying to perhaps set up a gank or something. Nope, just farming in the jungle a little bit offensively. And I think at this point, mTw, they are in full charge this game. CLG multiple times have tried to push, but really unsuccessfully doing so. And if you look at the actual tower counts, CLG is losing in terms of towers. They haven't even taken down this last tier 1 yet. And arguably, they have one of the best pushing lineup ever. Night Stalker's not a bad pusher, considering that he usually is able to run past towers and scare away people. But he's unable to do it in this game because he's just not tank enough. The 2 Necrobooks now available, so they could just go for a big push down the mid lane if they want to do so. But there's no rush for mTw. I feel like they have the stronger late game as well, so they could just take their time. Teleportation goes up on the top lane. They want Sock. Sock gets picked off. Multiple TP scrolls being used. 270 gold down the drain here for mTw. But you know, again, defending that tier 1 tower, very, very important. Seems like Radiant don't want to push this one off. At least not even try for it. We do see 2K go on Death Prophet. I wonder what he's going to be buying. Personally, I'm a big fan of Yule Scepter on Death Prophet. If you're getting focused, you use yourself and allow your Exorcism to do the damage. If you're trying to catch people up to plus 25 MS, very key. They do see Cinderin, silence on Cinderin as well, but he has the Invis rune in his bottle. Of course, there's going to be no dust prepared for him. And no, that was a smoke and a teleport used just for the Cinderin. And Cinderin, well, trolling the hell out of everybody. Are they going to transition into a tier 1 push? They will try. Meanwhile, tier 2 on the bot lane, perhaps under a little bit of trouble. Wow, nice force stab into a Shackle. Aki should be fine though. He's got the mech, he's got the Hand of God. Yep, tier 1 gets freely destroyed by the Radiant, so making some small ground here. Sock getting picked off here was pretty big in terms of defending that tower. But now the question is, will the Radiant defend their tier 2 tower? Lycanthrope in position. Glyph is going to get used. Any teleport scrolls from these guys? No, I think they're going to go for tier 2 trades. Wrath of Nature is going to try to slow down this push a little bit. Teleportation, 2 teleports here. Finds a trap in this tower. He's going to eat a void. He's going to be dead. Can we get a Sprout? There's going to be a Sprout. Do we have a tank going out? Yes, immediately we do. And that wolf form used to be running away. That's not too bad. Tier 2 tower being defended. Got a Windrunner 4-style Lycan's wolf form. So they could go for a fairly offensive tier 2 push of their own. That seems like that's exactly what CLG wants to do. Nighttime is still in full effect. As to say that, it's artificial night's over. Still real night's up. Sock trying to get some farm going on. No, he just started with a circlet. Gonna go for an Acceptor Rush. Does have the teleport scrolls ready for the bot lane defense. Crystal Maiden double bracers. A lot of wards up on her. Got a magic stick as well. But the key thing is that the ultimate form for Lycanthrope is going to be down for 30 seconds. So forcing an hour in the early engagement was really big. Now CLG has a little bit more leeway to do what they want. And Shrek, yeah, this is what I mean about the mid-game answer about Lycanthrope. Ghost Scepters, Force Staff, so many ways to actually make him somewhat of a useless right-click hero. And we do have a Lycanthrope, excuse me, have teleportation coming from the Windrunner Nova gets dropped. And I think that would be enough to slow down the push. Lycan's wolf form is back really soon. Yep, it's back right now. Exorcism gets popped right now. They want to fight for this tier 2. Shackle shot not landing. Exorcism goes slowly chipping away from that tower. And looks like gonna focus on Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden down to about half HP. Lycan Wolf on the back line here. Boba trying to get the right click. He's gonna go on Cinder, and Cinder is so tanky, but is gonna get brought down. The focus goes on him, but he is at the Ghost form. He's gonna be fine. Lycan Wolf form still doing so much, taking damage from the Ghost Scepters. Oh no, he is actually gonna go down to the Exorcism. Ghost is chasing him. Looks like the focus has been drawn off. Tower is still defended at this point though. Pycat so very tanky. He's gonna go on Sock. Do we have a secondary Void? No Void just yet. Pycat is eventually gonna go down. No, Vanguard doing so much block. Wimmer is gonna die. Vanguard somehow protecting him, and he still survives. He's gonna earn himself back up. Tier 2 is gonna get destroyed. Huge win for CLG. I'm not too sure where at the beginning of that fight I was like, man, that's gonna be a poor fight. But that Ghost Scepter on the Death Prophet was so huge. I mean, she went down from full HP down to half health after like 3 attacks from Lycanthrope, but immediately Ghost, and the Lycan just can't do anything. There was 2 ghosts in that team fight. There was 1 ghost on the Leshrac, the other ghost on the Death Prophet, and simply Lycan just couldn't keep up. So maybe that's why he feels Necro 3 is a little bit more useful, because Necro 3, even if you die, right, you're gonna still be effective in the team fight, providing the aura, providing the DPS output. Whereas if you get BKB, the Ghost Scepter, you will wreck you like twice as hard. So, I mean, it worked out very nicely for CLG. They got the tier 2. The Exorcism damage, you can never really underestimate it. And now we see Boba with 4k gold. 4k gold. The Roshan has been alive for a long time. No team has attempt for it. But I think we might see Dire making a little bit of headways into that area. I wonder what Boba is going to be going for. He's going to be going for either AC or Shivas. I think Shivas perhaps is a little bit better of a choice. Adding a little bit more AoE into your team fight is not bad. The slow is not irrelevant. Pretty useless against Lycan, but very useful against just about everybody else. Of course, the physical survivability is, again, what he's going for. Ghost Scepter is going to add you some, and of course, the Shivas plus 10 armor. Very effective. Here we go. They want to make a big dive. Both teams smoked up. Hawk scouting things out, and no one really care about the Hawk. And, are they gonna go into the Roche pit? Kind of a tense moment. Yep, they're gonna go into the Roche. The question is, are you gonna use the Exorcism Ghost? Yes, they are. They really want to make sure they get the Ghost as well. Tornado gets popped, Drum gets popped. They want this Roche, And I think they are going to get this Rose. The position is just too good here for the Radiant. Damage too fast being done. Shackle Shot does hit. Do we have any Blink Dagger effects? Nope. Night Stalker is going to pick up the Aegis. Miketsu's. And I think this is time for CLG to actually back off. Yeah, their Exorcism is ending very, very soon. They don't want to take this fight. They have the advantage at least for now. They're going to wait for the next Artificial Night, I assume, and the next cooldown of Exorcism to make a big push down the mid lane. And I do believe that push is going to be the strongest that CLG will ever be, relatively compared to the Dire. Dire is still trying to get their items. Necro 2 is up. Lycan Wolf has his Necro 3, I mentioned. Yep, Necro 3 as well, 1600 gold in the bank. At this point in the game, I think you save for buyback after that Necro 3, because the fact that the Radiant just had the Aegis, and the fact that they are more than likely to look for a very aggressive push. I'm not too sure what item he's going to get next. Perhaps a Playmail into a So Curious will be really nice. You got to keep in mind the damage of the Exorcism Glows is physical or reducible by armor. The actual type damage is called hero type damage, but it's reducible by armor. So getting armor on Lycanthrope is not a bad way to go about the situation. We do see a Force Staff into a Hex here from Nature's Prophet, so as expected. Shiva is completed on Death Prophet. Aki has the mech and nothing much else. Urn is going to be his item choice, I think. Or maybe he's just going for double bracer because there's already Urn on the Night Stalker. And that's going to be a Hex Stick finish on the Nature's Prophet. Exactly what I mean. This is going to be the strongest that CLG will ever be relative to the Dire, because Dire is starting to pick up a couple of key items of their own as well. Looks like Lycanthrope just purchased something. Not too sure what that might be. Kebab feeling very happy that she gets to upgrade a magic wand. The life of a Crystal Maiden, man. The life of a Crystal Maiden. Funzy trying to get her item before the next team buy. Perhaps just saving for buyback. There's nothing she could really buy. And this tier 2 is going to get slowly sieged upon by CLG. So I think I completely miscalled this game. I was going to say that if CLG don't have an explosive start, they're going to be in big trouble. So definitely learning something so far already in this game. They had a very slow start, but that was still good enough. Still good enough, and now they're firmly in control right now. Hex against Funzy right now. Can you bring him down? He's the mech holder. They're trying to nuke him down. Nice. Sock's going to be in huge trouble as well. That's going to be the tier 2 tower for sure. Lycanthrope runs right in, but there's a Ghost Scepter. Still haven't used it just yet. He sees Cinder, or excuse me, Kebab. Kebab gets exploded as well. 3 kills in the favor of the Radiant. Tier 2 is going to get immediately destroyed. Yup. And now it's looking really, really good for CLG. CLG's Exorcism is running out very, very soon. But they have so many good pushing heroes. They could keep going. Diabolic Edict is coming right back, and they're gonna go for the Rexes. Glyph is gonna slow down this push just a little bit. Night Stalker running right in against Effing Mad, down to half HP. Splitter is gonna hit. Effing Mad's gonna get blown down. Does he have the buyback? I don't think he does. GG gets called. What a push from CLG. That's the strongest point, and they completely nailed it. Wow, what a game. Like I said earlier, I learned something big. I thought mTw is going to coast in this mid game, but wow, the power of Boba's Death Prophet was insane. And GG completely out of nowhere. CLG cleaning this one up, man. They were about to lose their... I mean, again, this match was very important for the standings of Premier League, as these two teams are fighting for the number 2 and number 3 place. And here we go. CLG looking rather impressive in this game. Again, the early game was a little bit sloppy, especially in that early trialing where they got picked off a little bit more than they should have. But yeah, a win's a win. Very happy for them right now. Your final score is going to be 24-14. And this game was a hell of a ride all the way through. And CLG had a strong mid game. They were able to clean it. And now Boba trying to get a little bit of stat patent for Dota-Academy.com. Gets a kill against Crystal Maiden. Finally scored 25-14. mTw drops this game. CLG even the series 1-1. And we're going to go to game 3 right now. Thanks for watching, guys.